The storm swirling around the Cleveland Browns continued to intensify as the hours passed, not weakening but gathering more force, more fury, more tension with every new angle that emerged. What began as anger over a single play call had evolved into something far bigger, far more combustible. It was no longer simply about the two-point conversions, no longer solely about a rookie quarterback being taken off the field in the biggest moment of his young career. This had become a conversation about identity, leadership, and the terrifying possibility that the Browns were once again staring directly into the familiar abyss of squandered potential. Cleveland fans have lived in that place far too long, and the thought of watching another generational talent slowly dragged downward by coaching malpractice is enough to send the city into full revolt. As national analysts replayed the final minutes of the game, what stood out most wasn't just the Wildcat decision itself, but the symbolism of it. It wasn't merely a play call, it was a message, intentional or not. When a quarterback is playing the best football of his professional life, when he's shredding a defense that was expected to dominate him, when he's rising to the moment in a stadium begging for a hero, taking him off the field is not just questionable logic. It is a direct contradiction of everything a franchise claims to stand for. It tells the locker room that merit does not matter. It tells the fan base that common sense is optional. And it tells the quarterback that his accomplishments, no matter how brilliant, are subject to the whims of a coach who refuses to read the temperature of the game. This, more than anything, is why Browns insiders are calling for immediate action. Because this is not the first time Kevin Stefanski has made decisions that defied logic and momentum. It is simply the first time those decisions were so glaring, so destructive, and so humiliating that even the most patient observers threw their hands in the air. The modern NFL rewards adaptability. It rewards coaches who feel the pulse of the game and adjust in real time. It rewards leaders who understand when to lean on their stars, when to trust their instincts, and when to step aside and let talent carry them to victory. Stefanski has repeatedly shown the opposite tendency. He clings to structure, to predetermined choices, to scripts that do not bend no matter how loudly reality demands flexibility. And in the process, he risks breaking the fragile trust that a young quarterback must have in the people guiding his career. The most devastating part, the part that has left fans and analysts speechless, is the sheer scale of the opportunity squandered. Games like the one Shedeur Sanders played do not come often, especially not for rookies. They are flashes of what the future could be. Glimpses of brilliance that redefine expectations and ignite belief in ways statistics alone never could. Sanders did more than put up big numbers. He commanded the huddle. He controlled the tempo. He identified defensive looks with a level of poise that quarterbacks twice his age sometimes fail to demonstrate. He delivered throws into tight windows. He made decisions under pressure that cannot be taught. And each time the game seemed ready to slip away, he answered the call with a drive that kept hope alive just a little longer. And yet, as magical as his performance was, he was not allowed to finish the story he was writing. The ending was taken from him, carved out by a coaching decision that has since been picked apart from every possible angle, none of them providing justification that holds up under scrutiny. Stefanski's post-game demeanor only deepened the frustration. His vague acceptance of blame felt hollow, like a shield meant to deflect accountability rather than embrace it. Fans were not looking for generic responsibility. They were looking for insight, explanation, humility, something that acknowledged the magnitude of the mistake and the consequences it had on a young quarterback's development. What they received instead was a series of phrases that felt prepackaged, rehearsed, disconnected from the raw emotion pouring out of the city. Meanwhile, inside the locker room, the dynamic continues to shift in ways that should concern the front office. Veteran leaders are watching closely. They have fought through too many seasons of instability to tolerate decisions that undermine the team's progress. They know what losing feels like. They know the difference between falling short and being sabotaged by the very people who are supposed to guide them. And when someone like Myles Garrett, the beating heart of the defense, the face of the franchise, chooses to highlight the composure and brilliance of the rookie quarterback immediately after a devastating loss, the underlying message resonates loudly through the organization. Players know exactly when a teammate deserves the ball. They know exactly when a coach has cost them a game. They know exactly when the wrong message has been sent. And even without confrontation, their silence or their measured, pointed praise speaks volumes. The fact that the Browns are even in this position is what makes the situation feel so tragic. For the first time in years, perhaps decades, the team has stumbled upon a quarterback who looks capable not just of winning games, but of elevating the franchise to heights it hasn't reached. Since the days of Kosar, and the organization's response to that breakthrough moment was a decision that will forever be replayed in the minds of fans who fear history repeating itself yet again. The Browns have mismanaged quarterbacks throughout their modern existence, but this time feels different because Sanders is different. He has the talent, the poise, the leadership, and the intangible fire that makes great quarterbacks special. And because of that, the stakes have never been higher. If the Browns fail Shedeur Sanders the same way they failed the dozens before him, The consequences will extend far beyond a single season. It will be a catastrophic indictment of the organization's ability to nurture star talent. It will be a warning sign to future draft picks, to free agents, to any player considering Cleveland as a destination. Losing games hurts. Losing potential hurts more. And losing belief, that's the kind of wound that takes years to repair. And that is why the noise outside the building has reached deafening levels. Fans are not calling for change because of emotion alone. They are calling for change because they see the future standing right there under center, waiting to be embraced, waiting to be trusted, waiting to be developed into the franchise cornerstone he is destined to become. The question now is whether the Browns' leadership will recognize the urgency of the moment or let hesitation and pride drag them into another dark chapter. This story is far from over, and the decisions made in the coming weeks will determine whether this game becomes a turning point or a tragedy. So now I turn it over to you. Do you believe Kevin Stefanski can still lead this team, or has the damage been done? Should the Browns make a coaching change before the season ends? And more importantly, is Shedeur Sanders the future of this franchise? Drop your thoughts below. Hit like if you're following this drama closely, and don't forget to subscribe, because the next chapter of this story is coming fast, and every sign suggests it's going to be explosive.